Hey guys, today's video is going to be regarding TSU. And before I start, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a disclaimer so that I do not receive the same type of comments and the amount of comments that I did on my first video, that is basically my most popular video on my channel, regarding me leaving last year. Well, my attempt to leave TSU last year. And the disclaimer that I want to give is basically to say that in no way, shape, or form have I ever, nor am I planning to bash the university. I am still a student at TSU and a concerned student at that, and that's what I have been since I got there. And all the things that occur to me and to other students at TSU are things that are simply, they shouldn't be going on, and they're very unavoidable if the university would listen to people, and if the administration would give students an opportunity to voice their opinions. For me, as stated in previous videos, I had a meeting with administration, and I went through the proper protocol, as well as my church having members that are on the board at TSU. And I used the board members in a way to get closer to administration so that they would set up a meeting for me, because it was harder for me being an out-of-state student who's never even been to TSU prior, besides some minor visits, and nobody at the school knew me. So I went through my contact list of people that I knew at the church who could connect me with people at TSU that would actually help me. And I feel that me and a few other students, we went through the proper protocol. We did everything that we could possibly do to try and change TSU internally last year. And they didn't listen to a thing that we said. And when I did my survey last year, and I surveyed over 200 students, nobody ever cared or listened to anything that I had to say, I feel, besides other students. Because other students responded to that survey very well. They were glad that somebody was actually listening to their concerns. And at that time, they knew I was going to take it to administration, but they went in with their raw, unedited feelings. And I really appreciated that, and I really liked that, because when they know that administrators and professors are looking at what they're reading, they're more susceptible to lying or to saying things that cover things up. And I let them know I wanted the truth. I wanted the harsh reality of what people face at TSU daily. And I have another long list of situations that have been occurring, as well as a little bit of commentary regarding people and their dislike for me, which I really don't care about, and the school, people in the that work in the school, administrators, staff members, even people, members of SGA, which is other students that have problems with me and the way that my delivery is, which is these YouTube videos. And I don't care. I have nothing to lose at TSU besides them kicking me out of school. And unless they're going to kick me out of school for me telling the truth, I'm not scared. I don't have any scholarship money from the school, as previously stated. Are they going to stop my scholarship? There's no bag to stop, so I'm not concerned. What I'm concerned about is the students, my friends, peers, other people, dealing with the type of crap that I was dealing with last year when I decided to tell them about it. And when I told them about it and I felt that they didn't care about it, here we are again with the same situations, some situations worse than others. But you know what? I'm just going to get right into it, because my other video was 57 minutes long. And it's not going to be long today. I'm going to keep it straight to the point. I'm going to deliver all of what I need to say, and I'm leaving. And if people want to get mad, if you want to leave an angry comment, if you're an alumni, if you're sending this to that damn Facebook group who bashes me and talks crap about me all the time, that's fine. I literally don't care. You, as an alumni, as a viewer of this video, as a TSU student, anybody who spends their time at TSU, even if you just come for homecoming, these are situations that are going to affect you. If you're thinking about sending your kid to TSU, watch this video. If you are thinking about selecting TSU as a school that you would like to go to next year, watch this video. If you're going to watch this video not disregarding everything that I'm about to say to you and still get mad about it and think like, oh, whatever, like we're just she's doing too much, she's bashing the university, then don't sit here and watch this video. Because I really don't have time for the situations that happened to me last year, and I really don't care. Because at the end of the day, I am a political science major at Tennessee State University. I want to be a politician someday. Being a politician, you have to shake the table sometimes. I have to let people know what the hell is going on. I have to let people know that all of these issues, although they may not affect me daily because I don't live on campus anymore. I do not live in any of the dorms. I do not even eat on campus anymore because I didn't like the food last year. And we had situations last year, refer to my other video, we had mice in our cafeteria. So from that point forward, I stopped eating in there. But I know that my friends live on campus. I know that people I care about live on campus. I'm not going to sit idly by and allow things like this to go on without me speaking on it and without me saying something about it, especially since I have already done this in the past and will continue to do it. So, like I said, we're going to get straight into this list. Recently, and by recently I mean a few days, maybe 2 days ago, there's been a lot of stuff that has started up on Twitter, especially regarding things that are going on at school. I know an individual, she's a freshman. I don't know her personally, but there was a video posted where she was in the cafeteria, I'm assuming eating lunch or something, and there was a maggot in her meal, which at our cafeteria, there's like a stir-fry bar. You select your vegetables and your meat. They select your meat for you and they like cook it in front of you. So that's the food that she had, and that was the video. I know that I saved it. I'll find someone to put it into this video, so you should be able to see it as well. There was another video also posted after that one, another situation regarding the cafeteria, which has some sort of a fly or bug or something. And another thing on campus, I'm not sure whose video this is actually, but that was brought to my attention as well. There's a new page on Twitter. I'm assuming that just got started up today, called TSU Leaks. And I know a lot of people are having issues with that page as well. The same type of disclaimer I gave you is the same type of comments and stuff that they're telling people, because people are already bashing them and they just got this page started today. And the problems that people have is that they don't want anybody in the university, within the university, to post these things on public. And I, in a way, at first I did listen to that, and at first I was like, you know what, yeah, like we should just keep this all in-house and try to fix it. But since I am somebody who tried to keep this in-house and tried to fix it, and nobody was willing to listen, nor were they caring about anything that I and other students had to say when we brought it to their attention, that to me was like, okay, well, what else should we do besides let people know? Because on my other video, a lot of people told me this was my top choice school, and you let me know the things that are going on, and I really appreciate you for that. And regardless, I'm glad that other people are seeing these things. If there was somebody with an actual freaking backbone at TSU posting these sorts of videos before I got here, when I was in high school, I would have never brought my ass to Nashville. I would probably be in another state somewhere, going to school. None of these issues would have ever occurred to me. But nobody wants to talk about these things. Everybody wants to sweep everything under the rug. Another thing that was posted by the TSU Leaks page was I'm assuming it's a submission from a student. This page submits photos and videos that they get from other people on campus. And it was supposed to be a piece of bacon that a student had from breakfast or something, and it had mold on it. Again, I don't know exactly who this picture was from, but that photo was just another thing that was posted by them. Another thing that I saw today on that exact same page was a video of, well, there's two videos. One is of some mice and they're in a dorm. I'm not completely sure if that, I'm pretty sure that that video was supposed to be in Watson, which is like the freshman boys dorm. And there was a roach infestation video, which is supposed to be in the basement of Boyd, which is the upperclassmen boys dorm. Um, it's rumored to be mice inside of Epps Hall, but I have no verification on that, so I can't say whether or not that is true or not. But from the people that I know that live in Epps, they haven't said anything regarding that. So that is all I can say. Um, I just found out actually yesterday on somebody's Twitter, which again, this is coming from two different students. So I don't live on campus, so anything regarding campus life, residence life situations, is a little bit harder for me to verify unless it comes directly from like an RA or something. But a freshman at TSU who actually lives in Wilson Hall posted on Twitter that there was information leaked in a group chat regarding a homeless man who was living in the basement of Wilson Hall. I'm not really sure how he got there. Somebody in the group chat stated that he was found there, and I guess he came in where the construction workers came in, because they have been fixing Wilson Hall recently over the past couple weeks, and so that there is like a separate entranceway where construction people come in, but other students and other people are not supposed to be getting in there. So how he got in there, how long he was there, all of that, I don't know. She stated 2 weeks, but like I said, all of these types of residence life situations, I don't live on campus, and I don't know anybody who's like an RA or somebody with more reputable sources. So like I said, about that, regarding that specifically, I'm not sure. While we're on the topic of Wilson, another thing that a lot of people were talking to me about today was that, and yesterday, is that when people on campus, well, either people who die on campus or either people who are students who end up passing away with some tragedy or something like that, the school is very late to say anything about them, and oftentimes don't. The only person who died on campus recently who there was something said about him was a construction worker for Wilson Hall, who was fixing the roof and I guess slipped off and fell. And there will be a candlelight vigil and like a balloon, I guess, release or something like that on Friday for him. But there have been a lot of students that actually died this year. I'm not sure of every single one of their names. I only knew one of them, and I'm not gonna say that like I was best friends with him or anything, but it was very tragic to find out that people that you see on campus day-to-day life are passing away like that, so suddenly, and the school never says anything about that, and I do think that that's kind of shady, but I don't know, because they go to school there, so somebody has to be reporting that they passed away because now they're not in classes, and I'm assuming that they're stopping their payments and etc. So it's like, how do they not know? And when they find out, there's not a lot said regarding that situation. But that was a complaint that somebody brought up to me recently. Another thing surrounding Wilson Hall, since we're still on the same topic, which I'm not really going to go too in depth about, but I do want to discuss the fact that TSU loves to sweep things under the rug, and especially things that are either mental health related or sexual assault, rape related. All of that types of stuff, sweeping it under the rug every single opportunity that they get. So I heard about this 2 weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, not completely certain, but on Twitter, somebody posted about a resident of Wilson Hall being raped in their own dorm, and this occurred during visitation. Somebody who was signed in for somebody else's room, I guess the person that signed those boys in did not know where they were, or they just walked off or something. And this is how they were able to find a random girl and sexually assault her in her own room. Like I said, I don't know who she is personally, and I don't really think that she wants people to know what happened to her, because this is like a traumatic situation, and this is not something that she wants everybody on campus to know about. But that types of stuff is always swept under the rug. Nobody from the university has verified that occurred, but it has been a topic that I know people have been discussing online, but we're just not trying to find out who she is and like out her or make her feel any type of way, because that was not a situation that was her fault in any way, shape, or form. And situations like that can be avoided if their rules regarding visitation were followed through, because there's a lot of rules regarding visitation, but the main one that they don't follow through on is making sure that people are with their guests. If I sign you in, they're not checking to see if you're with me at all times, even though they tell us that we're supposed to be. But like I said, they're very lax about that. And then if something dangerous happens to somebody, sweeping it under the rug. The last thing on my list today for this video specifically is regarding the academics. Now, in my first video, a lot of people had asked me, were these your only problems? Like, are your problems only cafeteria, food service, and like dorm problems? Or do these problems span to your academics? Because I mean, that's what you're really there for in the end, is to get your education. So last year I didn't have a lot of problems with teachers. There were specific instances where I did have problems with teachers regarding like my biology class and stuff like that. But as far as my major was concerned, I was okay. My political science teacher first semester was it was alright. And that's who I have right now. He only teaches freshman, sophomore classes, I'm pretty sure. And then after that, you have better and higher level classes to take. So academics was not a problem for me last year. As a whole, my issues were basically housing based. But this semester, now that I don't live on campus, I'm definitely noticing that my academic problems do have arisen now. And my main issue, well, that kind of spans between basically almost all of my classes, besides like two. And one of my classes I actually enjoyed at the beginning of the semester, but my teacher, she doesn't really communicate with us, and she ended up just stopped showing up. And at first we found out that it was TSU's fault for not giving her a contract, but she also was working at the time that she didn't have a contract, because she was like, I don't want these students to just miss class and stuff like that. So she was really trying to be caring about the fact that, you know, even though they're not paying me, I want you guys to get an education. So at first we were like, okay, we get it. Like, you're not getting paid, you don't want to come to work. That's understandable. But once she let us know that she did have her contract and that she signed it, and then from going forward she was going to be getting paid, that's where she kind of stopped showing up. That's where the disconnect happened. And as a class, like, we kept showing up every single day, like, where is she? You know, like, you're supposed to wait your 10-15 minutes and then leave, and we're like, we don't know where she's at. So that's why we were like, why are we showing up? Like, what are we showing up for? You told us we were going to do this, and then she would still assign assignments, and it's like, why are we doing assignments when you didn't even come in here and teach us anything? Like, some of the assignments we can do with the book, but some of the assignments we need an actual lecture, an in-class lecture, for us to complete it. So it was just really confusing. And even still, we didn't have that class yesterday because it was election day, which is fine, but I'm gonna go tomorrow and see if she's there. An issue my mom is having is that she just feels like I'm not learning anything, and I don't feel like I learn anything in the majority of my classes. My biology class is just, you don't even really have to show up. You can just do your work online and then submit it, and you have an A. Like, my teacher who I have for biology, I also have for biology lab too, so we do the lecture part and we also do the lab with the same person. It's just on a separate day. And I've just stopped showing up to lecture because I don't like for teachers to claim that they're teaching me, but they're really just reading off of a PowerPoint. Why don't you just send me the PowerPoint? What's the point of me coming here for you to, in your monotone voice, read off of a PowerPoint? Anyways, I just can't. Like, that really just frustrates me, because that's not the way that I learn, and that's not the way the majority of people learn. You talking at me rather than you giving me a worksheet or rather than you doing something else, like something else. And we haven't done any of that all semester. So I just forget it. Like, I really don't care anymore. I just show up to my lab class because we do real work in there. And I feel like when I go to lab or when I miss lab, I've actually missed something. When I miss lecture, it's like, whatever. Like, what page of the book are we on now? Like, it really doesn't matter to me. And I'm not one person who just doesn't stops caring about classes, but once you lose my interest, and once you start doing stuff like that, I just feel like, what's the point anymore? Like, honestly, what is the point? And I know that my mom's issue arises from that, and that's where she feels like I'm not learning anything in school, and she feels like it's just a waste of her time and money to send me down here for what? And like I said, besides my two of my classes this semester, those are the only two classes where I feel like my teachers are challenging me. I'm engaged. Like, I'm excited to go to those classes. I don't like to miss those classes. Like, last week, one of those classes I had to actually go to a doctor's appointment during that exact time, and I was like, I really wish I could have had that doctor's appointment another time because I don't like to miss that class. But besides that, and one other class, I can't say that I am excited to go to any of my other classes because everything else I'm just showing up for attendance and showing up just to get the work done and get through it. But that's my mom's main grievance this year specifically, is because last year, even both semesters, like, I had some classes I couldn't stand, like math and biology, but my other classes I felt like I was learning, and it was like, we were like, you know what, it's just one teacher, because it's always going to be that one teacher. Like, you're never going to have a semester and all of your teachers be great. Like, if you do, that's amazing, but it's really, there's not a big chance of that happening. So I was trying to just, stick it out, get through it and all of that, but it's just, this semester I've just been going with the flow so I can get to my next semester's classes, because I can't take it anymore. Besides my French class and my history class, it's just like, whatever. I do recommend taking French at TSU because my French teacher is great. And not only that, but like, if you explain to her that you actually need help, she is one professor who will make sure that you are learning. I was doing kind of bad in a section, and I was getting lower grades on quizzes, and she spoke to me. She said, hey, like, do you need some help? And I just got my test back today, and I got a 91 on it. So it's like, there are some good teachers at TSU, but you really, like, why? It's a scavenger hunt. It's just a scavenger hunt to find teachers who are going to really teach you. And my mom is tired of that. She feels like with all the money that she's paying, it's like, what are we getting? Besides a damn headache, because that's all it is, really. But that was the last thing that I had regarding specific issues this semester. Another thing that I wanted to bring up in this video was just that I was going to make a larger video, actually, a completely separate video from this topic regarding clubs and regarding different organizations on campus, besides Greek ones. But I just honestly didn't even want to do that video because I had taken notes and I had like planned out, like, this is the notebook that I plan all my videos in, and I had some pages in here where I was like, this is what I'm gonna do and blah blah blah. But the reason why I actually ended up not doing it is because I grew up with my mom always telling me, and teachers and everybody telling me, like, if you have nothing nice to say, just don't say anything at all. And I am not in any club organization at TSU, and last year the only like sort of club thing that I did was TISL and Pep Club. And TISL is still a club that I'm involved in now. It stands for Tennessee Intercollegiate State Legislature, and as a political science major, I love it. So that's basically the only good thing that I was gonna say in that video, because I can't really speak in Pep Club anymore because I don't do it anymore. But it was fine. Like, if you have time to go to games and stuff, like, Pep Club is not even a bad thing to do. But my major thing is that people were always asking me about SGA. And I don't want to talk about SGA because SGA is not a real SGA to me. Like, SGA at TSU is a popularity contest. And unless you want to be popular, unless you want to, get special treatment, because that's all it is, there's no reason to do it. And I tried to be an SGA only because I am a political science major. I like changes. I like positive changes. I like seeing, different good things happen. And that was why I wanted to be a part of it. My freshman year, I ran for freshman class president. I didn't win. And throughout that whole entire year, I was just thinking, like, you know what? I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I wouldn't have been able to work the amount of hours that I was. I wouldn't have been able to focus on my business, and I wouldn't have been able to do the things that I wanted to do, because SGA has to follow everybody to all the games. And I wouldn't have had time to do the things that I wanted to do if I'm running all these games and trying to get my homework done. So honestly, it was a blessing in disguise that I didn't get into it. Then the end of my freshman year, last semester, I was, like I said, thinking about switching schools, so SGA wasn't even on my mind. And there was the regular elections for the SGA people, and then they had some open slots. I believe it was like sophomore vice president or something else that was open. And I was like, you know what, let me just run for it and let me see what happens. Like I said, I even at that time I still did believe that SGA was a popularity contest. And I tell people this still now, like, the only reason why I wanted to be in there is because I feel like out of the entire grand scope of SGA, why not let it be one actual genuine person? Why not let it be somebody who actually cares? Why not let it be somebody who's like, I actually am trying to make changes at TSU. And if you look at my track record, I've been doing that. Because when I came as a freshman, I didn't really know what to say to people. I was like, you know what, these are the things that I want to do, but I don't really know how I'm going to do them. Sophomore year, I'm like, you know what, I did all this stuff last year. I had a protest. I called the news up here. I got our freaking water fixed along with some other people. I'm not taking credit on that on my own. But I have showed that I tried. And they, at that time, people, like I said in the beginning of this video, had problems with the way that I was doing that. And that's fine. We don't all have to do things the same exact way. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X had the exact same idea, the same end goal. It was the delivery that was different. I am on the Malcolm X side of things, and I have no problem with that. By any means necessary, we're going to get it together at TSU. So whether that may be other people, me collaborating with other people, this TSU Leaks page, something like that, something has got to give. And it's like, I am a genuine person. I'm not doing this for any gain. Nobody's paying me to come to TSU and try to fix things. I want this for me and my peers. I want things to be better. Like when people watch my videos and they say, you know what, TSU was my first choice, but then I watched a video and I changed my mind. That's bittersweet to me. Because I'm really glad you're not going through these things. But at the same time, like, it sucks because it's like, you could have been a good, active student here, and we lost you to another school because you don't want to suffer this way. And people who keep trying to say, don't post these things, why? Like, I literally don't want other people to go through the same things that I went through. I passed out over my own dorm room having mold in it after I had reported the fact that there was mold in my room 3 times. Why? That could have been avoided. That does not need to happen to somebody else's child. And that's going to be on my conscience if I don't let people know those types of things. And that's the type of things that just really piss me off. Like people who want to brush stuff under the rug and just lie about it. I'm too good of a person for that. Truly. And I'm not just going to sit here and be like, okay, yeah, let's not tell people this. Let's not tell people that there's maggots in our cafeteria and that there's rats roaming around. And let's not tell people. Why? What are you gaining from not telling people? Unless you're on the freaking TSU's payroll or unless something like that, like what are you actually gaining from lying to people? Because that's what you're doing when you're not letting people know these things. And when I was trying to be into SGA and it was the end of my freshman year, that right there, that moment a few months ago was when SGA really just left a bad taste in my mouth and I was over it for good. And even a few weeks ago, somebody asked me, are you still interested in SGA and stuff? Because they know my track record. They know that I care. They know that I'm trying to do stuff. I feel like, for me personally, and I'm not trying to be a cocky person right now, but I feel like I'm the type of person that SGA is needed. Because I can look at things from an objective standpoint and be like, I don't have my freaking I love TSU goggles on. Because that's what everybody has. When we're trying to fix situations, you need to look at both sides and be like, look, I understand that the university is going to have to take time to make these things happen, so these kids shouldn't be angry, but you need to look at it from the angry student standpoint. And nobody's willing to do that. And when he asked me, are you still interested in SGA? I said, no, I'm not. He's an SGA. And I'll still tell him that it's a popularity contest. Because the people that were in SGA when I was a freshman, one of those people specifically, who I'm not going to discuss because I'm not here to be messy, I'm just here to be honest, he wasn't even the type of person that embodied SGA to me. And it was just like whatever. Like, he thought that he was better than everybody because he was involved in that. And I didn't like that. Because I saw him the first week of school. We had all the same classes together. Still do. And I saw him the first week of school, and then I saw him towards the end. And it's like, why did you let this change you like this? I don't like that. There's no credibility. And the types of stuff like that, it's like, I don't want to get into situations like that very young in my life. Because as I stated before, like, my end goal is to be a politician. And I can't have people being like, oh, well, you know, she's letting the power and she's letting the fame and money get to her. That's not who I am. Like, money, power, fame, that doesn't do anything for me. At the end of the day, I just want to help people. I just want to spread these types of awarenesses to people so that they don't get themselves in the same exact situation that I am. Because I would consider it to be a situation. There are some people who go here and they absolutely love their school and they love every single second of it. And then there's some people who are like, I like these things and these things I would like to change. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being that second type of person. That sums up everything that I have for this video today. So thank you for watching. And if you have any comments or questions, concerns, etc., leave them below. I will add the link in my description box to the video that I was referencing throughout this video. And in your free time, feel free to check out my other videos. My last video was a review of a weighted blanket. So check that out. Thank you.